Hey everybody, it's Austin Darkwood. It is 3:44 a.m. I'm doing another deck build video. This is called Jace's Mind Games. I run 18 islands, so as you can tell it's mono blue, and 2 Recolary Towers, which are from M13. Recolary Tower, you have no max amount size, tap, add 1 color, spend to your mana pool. I will be going over my sideboard for this as well when I get to that. I have 2 Jace's Phantasms, which were only printed M13. Find Jace's Phantasms as 4/4 as long as an opponent has 10 or more cards in his or her graveyard. So, there's that. Sorry, the sleeves, they put a lot of glare. They were dollar sleeves, but these penny sleeves are actually really good. Tomb Scour, this is the M11 one. It is actually printed M10 as well, and it was just reprinted in M14. So there's that. It's 1 blue. Target player puts the top 5 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So, just going over this because why not? Fog Bank. I only have 1 of. Defender Fly and prevent all combat damage that would be dealt and dealt by Fog Bank, and it's 1 colorless, 1 blue. I have 2 artworks. Treasure Hunt. I have the full art Treasure Hunt textless, and then I have the promo from the IDW comic. What it does is reveal cards from the top of your library, and until you reveal a non-land card, put all cards revealed this way into your hand. So it's a pretty good card. It gets me what I need. Then I have 2 Seacoast Drakes. It's just a 1/3 flyer, so you know, cheap flyer. I have 4 Jace's Erasures, 1 foiled with other 2 are Japanese, so you can see that. It says whenever you draw a card, you may have target player put the top card of his or her library into his or graveyard, 1 colorless, 1 blue, like the Seacoast Drake. 4 Mind Sculpts, which was an M13. Seacoast Drake was M13 and the Erasures were M12. 1 colorless, 1 blue, target opponent puts the top 7 cards of his or her graveyard of his or her library into his or her graveyard. And the artwork is Jace touching some guy's head and erasing his mind. And then I have Increasing Confusion, 1 blue and X colorless. I count it as a 2 cost because it only shows 2 types of mana. Increasing Confusion, target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. If Increasing Confusion was cast from the graveyard, that player puts twice that many cards of his or her library into his graveyard and have flashback in the same mana cost. X and 1 blue. So that's a really good card. 1 of those was foil as well. And then I have 4 promo Curse of the Bloody tomes, and 2 colorless, 1 blue. Enchant player at the beginning of the enchanted player's upkeep. That player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So you see the promo art. Don't have a normal art, so I can't show you that. This guy's one of my favorite cards. Word of Ovis Isles. It is a 2 colors, 1 cost. Flying. Creature spells with flying cast. You cast cost 1 colorless less. Makes it cheap. Gargomozoa, Defender Flying Jellyfish. It's from Rise of the Eldrazi. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by Gargomozoa. Order of Ovis Isles, and then Jace Bellerin Japanese anime artwork from the dual decks. It's really cool. His +2 lets everyone draw a card. His -1 lets only you draw a card, and his -10 has target player mill 20 cards, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then I have Jace Architect of Thought in here. +1 Until your next turn, whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, it gets +1 or -1, -0 until the turn. -2, reveal top 3 cards of your library. The opponent separates those cards into 2 piles, put one pile into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library in any order. For each player, search that player's library for a non-land card and exile it. Then that player shuffles his or her library. You may cast those cards without paying their mana cost. So it's Architect of Thought from Ravnica, and then I have Jace the Mind Sculptor here from World Wake. 2 blue, 2 colors, like Architect of Thought, +2. Look at the top card of your target player's library. You may put that card on the bottom of that player's library. 0, draw 3 cards, and put 2 cards from your hand on top of the library, and add a rated -1, return target creature to its owner's hand, and -12, exile all cards from target player's library. Then that player shuffles his or her hand into his or her graveyard. So there's Jace right there. My favorite Jace of them all. Not my favorite artwork, sadly. Miss Mel Griffin, flying, 2 colors, 2 blue, may cast that from exile. We have Jace the Memory Depth, 2 colors, or 3 colors, 2 blue. Draw a card, target player puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. 0, target player puts top 10 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Any number of target players each draw 20 cards. That is -7. And then we have Tameo here. 3 colorless, 2 blue. +1, target player puts that tap target permanent. It doesn't untap during that player's next untap step. Draw a card for each type creature target player controls. -8, you get an emblem with. You have no maximum hand size, and whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you may return it to your hand. And just to prove it, emblem. Why not show the emblem while I'm at it? I'm going to show 2 combo cards coming up. Time Warp. 2 colors, or 3 colors, 2 blue. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. And then Platonic Mirror, 5. This is from Darksteel. Yeah, this is from Darksteel. Other ones you probably know where they're from. If not, Tameo is from Avacyn, and Sorcery, the Time Warp from N10. Well, that's the copy I have. It might be from other sets. Imprint. X, tap, you may remove an instant or sorcery card with a converted mana cost from X in your hand from the game. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may copy the imprinted instant or sorcery card and play the copy without paying its mana cost. So you imprint, time, warp, and you take infinite turns over and over again until your next player passes that turn, because you're not going to be able to take extra turns that turn. Jace's Mindseeker from M14. Playing with Jace's Mindseeker enters the battlefield, target opponent puts the top 5 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. You may cast an instant or sorcery card from among them without paying its mana cost. Pretty good card. Chancellor of the Spires. It's 3 blue, 4 colors. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, and at the beginning of your first upkeep, each opponent puts the top 7 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Flying, whenever Chancellor of the Spires enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost. So that's pretty cool, right? And then we have Windreader Sphinx. Flying, whenever a creature with flying attacks, you may draw 7 cards. It's a 5, or you may draw a card. 5 colors, 2 blue. So, and then last but not least, a 10 cost called Jinkataxis. Legendary creature Predator. Flash at the beginning of your end step. Draw 7 cards. Each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7. Jinkataxis for your 8 colors, 2 blue, 5/4. He's fun with what is it? Memory Adept? No, Mind Sculptor. He's really fun with Mind Sculptor. And then I'm gonna go over the sideboard. So I run 2 Chronic Floodings. One colorless, one blue enchant land. Whenever an enchanted land becomes tapped, its controller puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So show that off. I run 3 cancels. Normal cancel, Japanese cancel, and then the cancel from return. It says counter target spell, 2 blue, 1 colorless. Termination Blade, 3 colorless. Whenever equipped creature attacks, defending player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a land card. That creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each card revealed this way. Target player puts the revealed cards into his or her graveyard. Equipment costs 2. So, Uncovered Clues is from Dragon's Maze. It says it's a 2 cost, 1 colorless. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 instants and or sorceries from among them, and put the revealed cards into your hand, and put the rest in the bottom of any order. So I thought I'd just show that off. Show those off. Sands of Delirium's a 3 cost. X. Tap. Target player puts the top X cards of his or her graveyard into his or her library. Dins of Wishes, 2 colorless, 3 colors, 2 blue. Wow. Can't speak today. Line, Danger Wishes enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. Pay 2 colorless, 2 blue. Remove a wish counter from Danger Wishes. Reveal the top card of your library. You may play that card without paying its mana cost. If you don't, exile it. So, pretty fun. It's technically a Ring of Wishes in creatures form. I have Dreamborn Muse. I think that's Invasions and the 10th edition. So they both say the same thing. At the beginning of each player's upkeep. Oh, and that's 2 colorless, 2 blue. I don't know why Genet Wishes was in front of them. And Dreamborn Muse. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or graveyard, where X is the number of cards in his or her hand. Having 2 on the field will hurt. I already went over Ninja Wishes, and then I have a 7 cost Sphinx of Uthuna flying. When Sphinx of Uthuna enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library, and opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Yeah, I rarely use sideboard in this deck. I mean, it's pretty fast on what I have normally in it. Luke was taking a look at it just because, I mean, he's played it, but he just wanted to look at some of the cards in it. That's pretty much, wow, commercial, but, that's pretty much, Jace's Mind Games. Like I said, I'm not sure. I just might show the cards I added to, like Hell on Earth, Heaven on Earth, Werewolves of Innistrad, the Vampires of Zendikar, and my Exalted. I don't think I added much to my Exalted since the last time we saw it. I think I just took out the murders and replaced them with Doom Blades. But yeah, they'll just be called, like, Vampires of Zendikar would be called Deckbuild 1.2, I guess, if you want to call it that. Because technically it's 1.0, then I guess 1.1 would be the correct term, and then it will eventually become like 1. Or Vampires of Zendikar revised. It just might be called. In other words, I'll just go revised deck build. I just might call it revised deck builds 1 and just show all the cards I placed into the decks I just already did. I'm kind of glad I did this one later because there's no other cards that I'm going to be adding into it unless it's a Jace or a Tameo. But that is it. Austin the Dark Lord out.